Lacey Stokes and Tatum Beckmeyer. We go straight into questions.
Lacey, you guys didn't make it easy on yourselves last week. Just being able to come back and rebound, it just seemed like you guys were a little more locked in than usual from the opening set tonight.
Yeah, obviously last week didn't go how we wanted it to go or how we needed it to go, but I think it was a good learning lesson for us, and so we were able to bounce back like we've been able to all season long. So for that to happen, now rather than, next Thursday, I think it's, one of those things that's like a blessing in disguise. So I think we just went into film and it lit a fire underneath us, and I think it's something that we needed.
What kind of lessons?
Some mental toughness lessons. It gets late in the season, you start, slacking on things, and good teams expose you for that. And I think, we slipped up on stuff that's against our principles, and getting back to our principles is what made us look how we did tonight.
Damon, your eyes kind of widened when I asked that. Was that a weird few days of practice where it's trying to get you locked in, or just how were those days after?
Right after, we just kind of came together as a group, and we knew that the team that was out there wasn't us, and so we had to come together and kind of have a heart-to-heart and let each other know that we're going to put that one in the past and we're going to move forward from it, and I think it shows that we did that tonight.
For both of you, Lacey kind of touched on it, just not playing your game and rather having this happen before you get to that conference tournament. March is all about building that momentum for the right time. Do you feel like tonight was a big step in being ready for next week and just how well this team can play?
Yeah, it was a big step in us getting back to doing what we do. Like Cayman said, we came together, we talked, because sometimes it goes beyond just the physical stuff, but the mental stuff. It's a long season, and this conference is really tough. So coming together and playing like we did tonight was just huge for us.
Feel like that was your most complete game in a long time? It just you didn't have to come back this time. There was nothing.
It wasn't an overtime game. It wasn't.
Didn't need game-winning shots, but it just felt like one of the most complete, dominant games you guys have had all year.
Yeah. We've had so many games it's hard to keep track, but it was nice, not to have to go into an overtime. But like I said, I think that speaks on the lesson we learned from last weekend, just letting stuff slide.
You don't have to play Thursday now. You have to bye now because you won. So.
We'll plan on it. We still got to win Saturday, so.
Lacey, before the game, right, you got the award, right, for going over 2,000 career points. What did that mean to you? And because obviously you came out on fire. So what did that mean to you before the game? And also, what is playing for the Lady Bears and playing for Beth and playing with your teammates here? What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh, it means the world. Ooh. Don't do it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You got it? You got it? Oh, okay, you're going to give me a second.
I'd like to say she represents the name on the front of that jersey so well. I know our names are on the back, but it doesn't need to be. She's not playing for anybody else. She's going out there trying to prove who Lacey Stokes is, and she's been the biggest blessing that I've had coming to this school. And I didn't commit here knowing that she was going to be here, but the Lord put us together, and I'm really grateful.
I haven't cried yet over being a senior, so thank you for that. That's my first cry. Ask anyone. I was in the locker room yesterday going, it just hasn't hit me yet. But here we are. I've only been with this program for 2 years, but I think if you've heard my story, I've been a Bear since the very beginning. And so being able to kind of fulfill that dream and having the success that I've had with this team, playing with the girls that I've been with, playing for Coach Cunningham and that whole staff, this whole just environment, Springfield, Missouri, you just feel the love everywhere, and being able to give back to this community it's awesome.
Playing for a championship on Saturday might help you keep that away. Keep some of those thoughts, I think.
Just trying to stay focused on one game at a time. Not trying to get too emotional. This is a very emotional game, especially for us girls. But as long as it's the right emotions, it can take you a long way.
Well, we've been talking one game at a time and everything in those scenarios for weeks, but one game at a time now. A win, you guys are at least a share of the title. Just knowing that's ahead of you, just how do you not make that too big, too small to where you guys are playing like you did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, after Saturday, you know, we've been saying one game at a time with a guaranteed next game. You know, after Saturday, it's one game at a time without being guaranteed another one. And so I think that shifts it should be the same mentality, but it kind of shifts your perspective on it, you know, laying it all out there. So just like, I don't know, staying motivated.
How do you approach a game like rivalry? Obviously, it's a team that you guys handled up there, but it's also a team that can just wreck everything, make different, cause some disruption. You guys aren't as focused as you were tonight. So how do you kind of go into that game with just knowing all at stake?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go into it the same as we would any other team in the conference. You know, Belmont, Drake, UNI, UIC, no matter who it is, we're going in with the same mentality that this conference is so competitive that it can be anyone's night. It just matters who shows up. And so we need to do what we do and take care of business, and that's our plan going into it. You know, Bradley went and beat Illinois State, you know, so they're not a team that's just going to lay over for anyone. No one in this conference is going to do that. So, I mean, you got to play your best basketball day in and day out.
Illinois State held you to 2 last time that you played. Did you take that end of the night? Just what were some of the adjustments today to where you had you kind of a better game today?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely took last game personal. That was a loss that I don't think that we didn't need it and we shouldn't have. So being able to bounce back not only individually, but having my teammates behind me, you know, pushing me. And after the game, you know, we went into film and my own teammates were on the film going, Lacey, you know, this isn't you, like you need to do this. So being able to have them be able to tell me what I need to fix, it just builds our trust. So I know that they have confidence in me to do what I did tonight, regardless of how the first game went.
How cool is it that you proved yourself right throughout all this? It's just like you knew you could play at this level, and I don't know what goes on with the awards next week when it comes to the League's Player of the Year, but you'll be in that top 2 at the very least. But I think you shut all your any doubters up with the way you played the last few years. Just what's that been like?
It's been awesome, you know, doing it from the start of my high school career all the way to the end of my college career. I've always been too little, you know, it's always been the go-to, and thank goodness, you know, Coach Cunningham took a chance on me, and being able to not only prove for myself, but prove to others that, you know, she saw something in me, and just being grateful for that. It's just something you can't really describe. I'm extremely grateful for it, extremely blessed, you know. This path that God's taken me down has been just unbelievable, and I wouldn't change, you know, going to Southern, coming to Missouri State. I mean, that's made me who I am.
Cayman, how much are you guys going to cry for her? You were about to break there.
Yeah. We're going to try not to. We're going to save that for after, whenever it's happy and some sad tears. But I mean, her and all the other seniors just mean so much to this program and so much to just everybody else. And they have set the bar high, and we're going to continue to follow in their leadership and become leaders like they are.
Zoe's voice was pretty cool today.
Beautiful.
She's awesome.
She's multi-talented team.
Yeah.
This is the first time she did that this year? Or?
She sang for
An
acro
tournament.
Yeah. But she sang at our gala earlier, very beginning of the year before season started. And that was the first time I think any of us heard her sing.
Yeah.
And she just...
It takes some courage to go out there in front of a good crowd tonight just to be able to do that. Just how much she's singing in the locker room and everything. I'm sure that's a little too much, but was she...
Zoe has an outgoing personality, so she's one that she's not scared of a crowd, which is kind of awesome to know someone like that, because I would not be singing in front of a crowd.
You guys know she was doing that before she walked out there today, or just
Yeah, we found out this morning
Mm-hmm.
that she was doing it.
keep the pressure on her, just don't forget the words, or
No, we knew she could do it.
Confidence, always.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
thanks guys.
Thank y'all, congrats.
Thanks.
Thank you.